16 drivers. Welcome to International Racing League, Season 7 F1 tier at round 6 at, I don't know why it says Canada, it's actually at France, but we are at France. As right now, Nez Trijin, I forgot his name. Where's he at? In the Alfa Romeo. I don't know if this is now his permanent seat, since both Alfa Romeos, one has left, called it a quit till next game, one of them's actually dropped to a reserve right now. He's the first one actually out on an outlap right now, so I'm just going to quickly fix my little mistake what I've put on the...
Yeah, I'm doing it right now as well.
Alright, cheers. Also, after that, could you put the tweet as well? I forgot to ask you about that. So yeah, right now then, the Alfa Romeo driver is currently a reserve at the moment, it says on my spreadsheet. But I don't know if he has actually been promoted yet or anything like that, since it hasn't been updated. Let's have a look. What's his actual name? What's his actual name?
Who?
Thijsman Vos. Apologies if I get your name wrong there. It's Netherlands name. Thijsman. I'm just gonna Thijsman Vos. Apologies. Honestly, I can't say that name for some reason.
If it's VOS, it could be Boss.
Nah. Oh yeah, it's Vos. I can say that, but it's his first. I can't really say Vos. Right now, we'll just say Vos for now. Yeah. So Vos then is currently about to begin a lap in IRL. I believe this is his second race he's managed to hold. Unfortunately, I believe he didn't make it to Canada. But he's about to start his debut in the Alpha at France there then, as he activates his DRS. And off we go. As not the best pit lane, but he watches out for that Mercedes there. Nice turn 1 into turn 2, rides the curbs. Ooh, and he's already invalidated, and that's how easy you can invalidate around here. Especially with that tight chicane, he will not be happy with that.
Oh, he barely got it away with Bran there. Was on his lap.
No, Bran isn't, is he?
No, Bran was on a lap.
No, Bran's just come out the pits. That was Jay.
Oh, never mind.
I think. That's, yeah, it was Jay, because Jay's invalidated. My bad. Yeah, that's right. As Lewis Marshall, he's on a lap right now on his debut back to IRL. This is his second time he's come. I think third time he's come back after with last season didn't go to plan. He was in the Ferrari, and the season after that also didn't go to plan. And this season, he's joined mid-season for IRL and possibly be looking to be up there. So right now he is purple, since somebody else ahead of him has done a lap.
Ollie and Eric are also close together, both on laps.
Are they further ahead?
On the thing, they're 8th and 9th coming through sector 3 right now.
Then if you want to go on Ollie's lap and finish him off.
So through the final couple of corners for Ollie, I'm not sure how good a lap it's going to be, because I haven't been following the whole of it. As someone in sector 1 seems to have some kind of problem. But through the final corner opens DRS, and it's going to be 29.7, so that's the time that everyone's going to have to beat. And Eric goes 6/10 off that straight away. Deliver first 2 to complete laps at the moment.
There comes Lewis Marshall
across the line, although he's elevated.
Here comes Lewis then in the Ferrari, as he's about to finish his first attempt back in IRL this season. He does a 1:30.3, so he beats Eric's lap, but unfortunately doesn't meet Ollie. Ollie stays ahead of him, and then Lewis Curtis on the mediums is a bit off there. However, the other Ferrari of Matthew Collins right now is in second place, so both Ferrari drivers second and third right now, looking quite well in quali.
Yeah, they seem to be doing quite well. Obviously, Ollie's lap was quite good. He's 2/10 up on anyone else, although only 4 drivers have been on the softs.
Well, there comes Casper on mediums. 7.
Caps are just off. Oh no, actually quite a bit off Lewis. 5/10, separate them roughly.
That's true, of course. So I believe that's Aaron Collingwood now finishing off his lap. I didn't tell me what he did. He did invalidate. As Matthew sets the pace, 29.3. Jay is finishing off his lap, Kevin, if you want to, as he actually has got a little bit of traffic. Ooh, that could have validated. Nope, he's still good.
Gets there. Through to the final corner. The exit of this corner is a bit tricky on traction, but he gets it quite well, and he's going to come up to the line. Can he get close to Matthew? He's going to beat Matthew for now, and goes ahead by just over a tenth. So it looks like Jay and Matthew are the people to beat right now.
Yeah, that is true, of course. As right now we're on board with Nino Romanello, as Lewis Curtis's teammate is in 7th. Let's see what Nino can do if you want to go back on that, Kevin, on Nino Romanello's lap.
So through to the chicane in the middle of the 2 straights. Obviously he's doing quite well, no lock-up or anything like that. And now through the flat-out right-hander. Pretty easy, and now onto a very tricky braking zone, especially if you're using ABS, because you have to turn and brake at the same time. And now through to this very flowing final part of the track, where speeds are quite high. And now he's got a little bit of traffic ahead. Hopefully they get out of the way, and they do. And now it's Matthew Alder there. And now it's through the penultimate corner, through to the final corner. He's going to exit. Looked like a pretty decent exit, and he opens up DRS and he's going to set a uh, 29.6.
Yeah, that is right. He does a 29.6 there, so that is a good job there for Nino. Currently 3rd right now, and he's not that far off Matthew. He's only a couple of tenths, so that should be a bit of a confidence boost for Nino. As he's doing alright in the racing point, and he's ahead of his teammate, Lewis Curtis, who was on mediums, in 9th right now. And the strategy around here is very important as well, as Brandon's done a 40.3 as he's just done a 41 again though, so Brandon's not having good on track limits there on the hard compound of tyre. I don't know why he's actually on the hards, because the strategy around here is soft and medium, unless he's expecting rain in the race.
That is actually interesting, and interesting point, although a lot of people have opted for soft, so it doesn't seem that likely. But I mean, maybe it's actually it's a kind of strategy that I've pulled off last season in F2 quite a lot, going on the hards and waiting till rain, and it's worked out. So maybe he's going for a similar kind of strategy.
Could be. As Aaron Coleman now is going to be on an out lap again, just getting out of people's way, which is good to see. As anybody else on a flying lap except Bran? I know Bran's on hards, but well, apparently he's actually up in his time by 200 seconds. Oh, Bran almost loses the rear end. Yeah, we'll go on board with Collingwood very soon then. Oh, it's actually Ollie who'll be actually on a lap very soon actually as well. Well, we'll switch on to Ollie.
As far as I know, with Aaron, he's been practicing a lot for this track, so we could expect some good things from him. Could be able to challenge Matthew today, who seems to be the king of this track on this game.
As we're on board with Ollie now, who is on a lap then. He takes second chicane, quite nice and tidy, very tight. Got to watch out with track limits though around here, because I believe if you do get caught exceeding the track limits round here, you will get penalised, and also you've got to also make sure you take the pit entry correct as well. So you can't cross the white border line, but you can cross the dotted line to get into the pits, but you've got to be very quick on doing it without cutting the white border line, or you will get a penalty. So right now Ollie takes a third chicane, nice tidy, hit the bump there, and he's hitting a bit more of the curb there. Like the McLaren was unsettled out of that curb, however, as he's for some reason riding on the off track part where the curb again realigns. It's going to slow you down a little bit. Do the big fast right hand in my foot part of this track in France. Can make some overtakes around here, but you've got to be very careful and cautious as he comes through a tricky left-hander where you've got to be careful with your braking zone. Runs a bit off the curb there and rides that big right-hander curb in to the flat left-hander. Coming through the final curb right now. Let's see what time he will do then. He does a 29.5 there, goes third currently, so that's a good lap for him.
And it looks like Aaron Collingwood validated his lap. Although it seems his teammate has been getting in his way a lot of the time. I'm not sure.
It could be getting his way, or it could be slipstream.
That's also true. Either way, it seems he's invalidated.
That's a shame for him as we're on board with Felix right now, who's just behind the Renaults. Who is currently on a lap, so hopefully neither Renault holds him up as the Renault gets out the win. I believe that's Aaron Collingwood there. Or Pedro, it could actually have been Pedro. And here we go then, round the final corner. As Aaron has actually just crossed the line there on those softs. And here comes Felix to the line. There's a 30.3 there, and that would have put him into 8th place, I think. If it straight lines to 1 and 2, he has to be careful. I believe Pedro's on a lap now, Kevin, if you want to go over his lap.
I am now, so coming to finish sector 1 it should be, and actually looks like he's purple, unless the timing screens are lying to me, and he actually gets a good slipstream off his teammate as well, so this will help him out all the way down the straight. Now coming to the chicane, Aaron gets out of his way very nicely. And then his teammate's going to pop up for the exit of the corner as well, so he's going to get even more slipstream. So this is a very nice teamwork that they've got going here. And he gets out of his way once again through the flat-out right-hander, and that will certainly help out his sector 2 time. Now through, coming into the final part of the lap. Lots of very flowing corners, pretty high speed, not too low, and then his teammate pops up again to go into pits. Goes through the final corner for Pedro then, has a little bit of a lock-up, that won't help his exit. He'll open up DRS, what's it going to be? Can he maybe challenge? And no, it doesn't look like he improved, did he?
Yeah, he did a bit there on the mediums, stays 12th. What about a bit there? Seeing with that slipstream didn't help that much. But currently he is on 12th on mediums. He's on the medium compound of tyre there, and he could find a lot more time, possibly get 7th or 8th on the soft compound of tyre. And currently right now, I believe Matthew Alder is he on a lap or is he not? I can't tell.
I think he's
no, he wasn't.
Just set a lap because he's gone pole and he wasn't before.
Oh yeah, he has gone pole. Is that Lewis Marshall then? Lewis Marshall's on an out lap, Matthew Collins is on an in lap, I believe. And it's both Haas drivers of Casper and Diego. And Diego in the Haas then. So has Haas got a bit more form of life, as we did see at the start of the season at round 1, Haas team were quite strong. Got I think almost both on the podium, as a reserve of Pedro, of course, was in the Haas. But Casper was on the podium. And he's got Diego right now in the Haas car, who's currently 3rd place, and the top 3 right now is quite close.
Yeah, I'm on board with Frager right now if you want to go on board with him. He's on the softs at the moment. He'll be looking to improve his time through the chicane, through turn 9 that is. I've just seen on the right. Now through to the flat-out right-hander, and he's apparently set a fastest middle sector. Now through this very tricky right-hander where you have to brake and also turn at the same time. Doesn't help anyone using ABS, and now through these very, very flowing corners. Goes a little bit wide there, although maybe that helps his exit. It seems to have done just that. And now through to the penultimate corner. Shifting down to 3rd gear, now down to 2nd, a little bit of a lock-up, and he's going to be going to the line, opens DRS. What's it going to be? Can he maybe challenge the top guys? He puts himself 9th with a 30.2.
That's not a bad lap there from us. He has been a while from IRL, so he can't be that disappointed, as Aaron Collingwood is backing off a little bit, I think ready to warm up on a lap. So we'll go on board with him as here he goes then, round the final corner to start his flying lap. We've only got 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining of the session, so this will be his last attempt and last chance to try and secure a decent position in this qualifying, because currently he is in 16th, and he's also with Cameron Young, who hasn't done a lap right now. He gets turn 1 and 2 nice and tidy there. Probably was a bit cautious to try and not get it in validation, and see how he takes turn 3 and 4. Nice tidy, really high revs on the gears there. Just trying to fight the car, keep it within the track limits, of course, as he has a slow McLaren dead ahead, currently purple in sector 1. And that McLaren needs, actually that McLaren and the race point need to get out of the way. The race point is too bit late there on Aaron Collingwood there. Nino had to be careful and not messing up Aaron's lap there, and hopefully that didn't ruin his lap. As here comes Aaron then through the chicane, nice and tidy. Still within the not as invalidated yet, as Lewis Marshall calls it a day for quali, and will at the moment stay in 9th but may get beaten, as Aaron again it's purple in sector 2 now. As we go through the fast right hander, short shifts from 3rd to 5th, drops it to 3rd, now 2nd, short shifts back to 4th. Ooh, cuts the corner a little bit. Got to be careful, you don't exceed the track limits, rides curve as much as he can through the fast left hander. A bit of a lock up there, as you heard, as he comes through the final corner. Another lock up there on the right front, and let's see what time he will do. What time will it be? Will it be pole position? Will it be 2nd, or will it be 3rd? It's going to be 4th, the 29.3. It's a really close top 4, actually top 5 right now, actually. But right now Matthew Alder currently is in the lead, as Cameron Young for some reason hasn't done a lap, and there's only a minute left. As if you want to go on board with Ollie, Kevin. I believe he's on a lap right now.
Alright, so coming through to turn 4 now. Through turn 5, it's very flowing here. You gotta really get to turning right, and it seems that he has it now. You've got to get a really wide exit here to get a really tight entry to what is turn 5 or 6, I think that is. Now through the first very long straight onto the chicane, and your exit here is very crucial because it'll affect your run all the way down past up to the flat out right hander. Now he's just finished sector 3 there, or 2, sorry, and now through this right hander, very tricky of course. And he gets this exit quite well as people are starting to finish their laps. Now it gets really up on the curbs, a bit squeamish. His car is up on the exit there, and now through the penultimate and final corner, a little bit of a lock up, a few people locking up there, and now he's going to be going to the line. Open CRS is going to be his final lap, and he puts a P4 with the 21.93. Now, what could Diego do? Maybe Diego seems to be calling it day. He's in the pits.
30 flat for Felix.
Is on a lap. Matthew's on a lap as well. They're in the final sector.
Okay, we'll hop on board with Matthew then, and then hop on board with Jay. So Matthew doesn't feel that he's safe. Could he be the first person to break in the 28? As he did do a good lap in the hot lap scenario. Let's see, will he get beaten? Does improve, 28.8. What about Jay now?
Jay's gone in the pits. He's seems to not have been improving on his time.
And here comes Casper then on a flying lap right now. Around the final corner, what time will he do then? And then it will be Brandon, and then it will be Eric to finish off the day. Casper goes 14th with a 30.3. Brandon, however, is invalidated and will stay 15th. Not like Brandon there. Eric jumps to P10 right now with a 29.8 there. So Eric will be happy to be within the top 10. Right now then, we will go down the official order of qualifying. Matthew Alder does take first then with a 28.8, the only person to break in the 28. Jay is championship rival in 2nd, Diego in 3rd, Ollie Flavella in 4th, and Collingwood in 5th. A very close grid we do have. Voss in 6th, Pedro 7th, Lewis Curtis 8th, Nino Romanello in 9th, Eric just taking 10th in the final few seconds. Matthew Collins 11th, Felix 12th, and Lewis Marshall first time in the Ferrari and back after his retirement in 13th. Casper in 14th, Brandon Glover a shocking 15th, it's not like him, and Cameron Young finishing in 16th with not setting a lap time.
Actually, looking at that, the whole grid is technically in a Williams sandwich, because they're first and last.
Oh yeah, that is true, of course, and the Williams team are very quick, and it doesn't look like there's rain due. But I've got to say, with Brandon and Cameron, well, Cameron not doing a lap time, but Brandon was qualifying on hards at the start, then went mediums. Do you think Brandon qualifying on hards was a mistake, and then trying to do a medium lap, and it unfortunately didn't go to plan, or do you think that was just bad timing with Brandon in quali?
It's a possibility that he did it, maybe invalidated his final run on purpose, because he thought mediums would be better. Obviously, he's starting down in 15th.
Yeah.
So it's not a great starting position, but maybe he thinks that it'll allow him to stay out of trouble, and maybe he can come out with a few positions gained if there's a bit of carnage in turn 1. So maybe he's thinking that way, or maybe he just genuinely invalidated his run and got a bit unlucky. But yeah, obviously the position he's starting in, maybe it'll work out for him.
And it's quite ironic to have a Williams in first and Jay in second, and then at the back grid we have Cameron in the Williams in last and Brandon 15th, second last. So it's a Williams Mercedes sandwich compared to everybody else. Although Matthew is in the lead at France, and he does like France, one of his favourite tracks, I do believe. And it looks like he could win it. However, though, he has a lot of targets around him. Jay, Diego, Ollie, Aaron Collingwood, and possibly Voss, and also Pedro could challenge Matthew if Matthew gets held up by a pit stop strategy or just loses it into turn 1.
Yeah, that is true. Of course, Matthew would be the one that you'd put your money on, of course, because he's usually so dominant around here. I'm pretty sure he did win here last year when he was going up against Louis. He got him in the final few laps to take the win. Today he's starting on pole. I'm pretty sure like he did last season. So in theory he should be able to replicate what he did last season and take another win.
Yep, that is true, of course, and Matthew with him pole though, but as I've said, don't count out Cameron. Cameron was up there last season against us. He was having a struggle season with the Haas team, and he's no longer in that car, he's in the Williams, so he is a bit happy, but unfortunately he's 16th. Now he's got a job on, especially when he's qualified on the soft tyres. He's going to be a lot faster, and he's going to be getting up the grid quite easily, but then he's going to have to watch out from traffic, starting with Eric and also Voss in 6th, with those guys on soft tyres and on the medium, so it's not going to be that easy to pass, of course. But we could actually still expect some rain. You know, we've had rain in the past at France. I do remember that in F2, of course. Twice we've had rain in F2 for France. But at the moment it's sunny, and it doesn't look like any troubled weather conditions at the moment, but anything could happen as Matthew Order is coming up to the line as we wait for the other 15 cars to line up on the grid, and we'll get ready to race at France.
I'll keep an eye on the back.
Thank you very much, Kevin. So here we go then, as we wait for the final guys to get on their spots. And the FIA released the green flag. We've got a nice camera view here, which I think is better. There's now 2 lights. Actually, I can't even see the light sequence. 4 lights, 5 red lights now. And we're off, and it looks like Jay's had an okay start. Jay's had a miles better start than Matthew Order. Who's going to lead into turn 1? Will it be Matthew? Will it be Jay's? We can see a rest point there off the track a little bit as the Mercedes and the Williams go side by side through turn 1. No wheel barge, and Jay does take the lead into the first corner. Look at Aaron Collingwood though, he's feisty on Matthew. Going to try to take second, possibly into the chicane. No, he backs off there. As there is yellows there, and that's a Red Bull. That is Felix Negua at the back. No damage right now.
Yeah, looking at the back, it seems very, very clean. No one really, apart from Felix losing it a bit, but I don't think anyone really caused anything. As we have like a 4 wide moment there, I think. 3 wide now going down the straight. There's Matthew Collins, Lewis, Cameron Young as well, the 2 Ferraris. Oh jeez, everyone's everywhere. And then there's Brandon going past Cameron Young there. He gets it up into 13th, although Cameron's going to be side by side with him on the exit, and then there's going to be a bit of fight for Eric's slipstream between them two, and there's also the two Ferraris up there as well, with Eric trying to fight away, and they're still side by side here.
Khan goes for a little lunge on.
Looks like Cameron's going to get him on the inside. Yes, he is.
Yeah, it's very strange there. Cameron has had a good start on the softs, but look at Eric. Eric's in 12th, starting 10th. Hasn't had the best of starts. Dropped down the grid by a few positions, but look at both Ferraris. Currently at 10th and 11th right now on the medium combative tyre. So they're basically at home right now.
Jeez, I didn't even realise that Jay took the lead off Matthew. That's very crucial. And also Aaron has had a pretty good start. He's put it up into 3rd.
Yeah, that is true, of course. Jay got Matthew straight away into turn 1, actually. It looked like Matthew didn't have a good start. And Jay, with the traction he had, just instantly was on the outside into turn 1, got the inside of turn 2 and got through. Matthew dropped 2nd. Even Aaron possibly challenged Matthew for 3rd. And this is France. It's basically a slipstream fest. And in theory, Jay runs a bit wide there. And so did Aaron. And lost a little bit of time that Aaron did. And this is where Matthew, on the wheel, has a little bit of advantage possibly at this track. He can run the car a little bit more smoothly, as Matthew's actually going to attempt to move on Jay in the inside in the chicane on lap number 2 and gets the move quite easy there. I think Jay led him through there, possibly to get an easier run through the next straight. However, he has to watch his mirrors. Aaron Collingwood is not that far behind him, as Felix has slowly caught up there after that little mistake he had at the start.
Yeah, right now, quite poetically, the top 3 in the championship are in order in this race. Matthew leading the championship, Jay 2nd, and then Aaron in 3rd.
That is true, of course, and you know, these 3 have also the only people who've won races as well. That's as it goes Matthew first, who's won the most, then Jay in 2nd, and then Aaron in 3rd. So it's quite I don't even know
poetic.
The word. Yeah, that's the word. Thank you very much. As Jay's lost a little bit of time now to Matthew. Matthew now picked up the pace and there's a 33.4 right now. As the field is now starting to separate, as we can see a racing point behind.
Lewis Curtis and Matthew Collins going side by side in turn 1. Matthew on the inside, he's going to be trying to make an overtake here. And he's going to get a switchback line. They're going to be side by side in the exit. Matthew Collins, of course, on the medium tyre. In theory, the soft should be still better at this point, and he's going to have the inside line and take that 9th position off of Lewis.
And also, while we were watching that fight, Eric is now getting absolutely swarmed. Got passed by Cameron and now getting passed by Brandon, as Brandon is in 14th right now. It was unfortunately excuse me. Cameron's now starting to pick up the pace as well, as Brandon's trying to get past, and those mediums look a lot quicker than those softs.
Little Romanino down the inside of Pedro Sousa there, and they're side by side in the exit. He gets touched a little bit, and Nino has to take to the bit of runoff there on the right.
Oh, Brandon did get past Eric in the end.
Looking around the outside.
Although Nino's not being very smart with the IRL though.
Oh, he had a look, and it looks like
there.
Bit of desync or something, because it didn't. I was on work, so you know, there was no contact. But now Pedro loses 2 positions, 3 positions almost. If Lewis Curtis can get past him, as he goes very wide, and there's 3 fights going simultaneously in the same part of the track. There's the Ferrari of Lewis getting passed by Cameron in the background.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
That was dangerous there for Nino, and Nino could be penalised with that. That was Nino. Oh, what's Nino doing? Nino's not giving him any room. Matthew Collins is trying to get past him there. Nino's just almost... and Nino's cut the corner, so that, I would say, is kind of calm what penalty ever he gets. So he slows down, though, and doesn't get a penalty, so he's very lucky. Although that's kind of a bit of karma.
Lewis and Cameron still fighting away there off the end of that. Looks like Lewis was able to keep in front of Cameron just about, but of course come on to the straight. And looking at the fighting that these 5 now have been doing, I wouldn't put it past them to be 3 wide at the end of this straight.
Well, Diego has just got past Aaron Collingwood actually, which we've just missed because there's a massive battle further down, and with these guys fighting, Voss has actually pulled away from him by 3 seconds, which is going to be crucial, especially for the soft runners, but not the medium runners. The guys on mediums, if it was 5 seconds, then it would be crucial, because in the end they are going to be quicker near the final stage of this race.
Yeah, it seems right now that there's a train from 7th down to 14th, I think that is.
Well, it will be 15th when Felix gets there.
Felix.
Well, it would have been actually 15 already, but unfortunately Nino made that silly error and a bit too aggressive on what he did to Matthew Collins, and it bit him in the butt a little bit there, and he's further behind Felix, but he has started to catch up.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's a top 6, and then there's a gap, and then there's the rest of the field at the moment.
That is
There's
true,
like
of
two
course.
races going on at once.
Hold up, don't count out Lewis Curtis. Lewis Curtis is looking hungry. I believe that was actually the Williams of Cameron Young trying to pass Lewis Marshall. They go side by side. Oh, and there's a bit of contact. Cameron's round. Cameron is round, and that is crucial, especially for the constructors. With Mercedes catching up a little bit, as neither Mercedes, I believe, last week, or was at Monaco, scored any points. And there you go, Cameron is now in 16th, lost a lot of time, and has got a lot of time to catch up. Could pit possibly to the mediums to the end of the race. Have a look. Battle up ahead. Ollie and Aaron Collingwood are fighting now. Renault versus McLaren. Both supplied by Renault with the engines. However, though, even with the Cameron making a mistake there, Williams is still going to get the most constructor points.
It looks like the top 6 right now are a little bit separated. They're able to follow in the DRS, but closing up seems to be a bit of a difficulty. Right now, the closest anyone is Ollie on the back of Aaron. It seems like he is maybe going to be sizing them up for a move soon. As Aaron goes wide, is he going in the pit lane? He is.
Yeah, he is. Aaron's making a scheduled pit stop then. So is Jay. So Jay and Aaron are in the pits then. And they had to make sure they didn't cut. And there's a few others in the pits. Lewis Marshall gets 5 second time penalty for speeding in the pits. And Lewis is actually retired, so Lewis has called it a day. So something has gone on with Lewis. Unfortunately, he's had to call it a day on his debut. So that's unfortunate for him. As Cameron Young is in the pits there, maybe retiring after the contact between them two.
Yeah, I imagine that we'd see Matthew win this lap. Obviously, Aaron and Jay both trying to get an undercut on him, and it could well work. Of course, this is about the drop-off for the softs. So Matthew will have a slow-in lap compared to Jay and Aaron, who are most likely charging right now.
As here comes Casper.
Fuel.
Yeah, that's true, of course. Here comes Casper then on the outside of Eric. Haas versus Toro Rosso round the outside on different tyre compounds, and this is where the mediums are starting to work, and this is where the guys on the softs are starting to go down. And unfortunately, with Cameron's aggressive strategy on the soft tyres, unfortunately hasn't worked, and he is on mediums in 15th right now after his pit stop.
Brandon's right on the back of Pedro. He's gonna be locking down the inside. He has the front wing there just about. And he's going to be able to get to the inside.
Like Pedro let him through there.
Overtake.
Ooh, bit of wheel banging.
No, they're still side by side.
Brand thought that was it on. More wheel banging between these two. These two are getting a bit too aggressive. Maybe Pedro needs to pit. No, Pedro doesn't pit. Stays out. Matthew does pit then. So does Diego and Ollie and Voss. So this is where Matthew Collins' medium strategy needs to work. This is where he needs to now pick up the pace a little bit and start doing a second a lap to try and get some good points and to try and beat the guys on the soft runners who pitted, who were ahead of him before the pit stops.
Yeah, I'm going to be keeping an eye on Jay right now. He may have got him.
He has.
They're going to be side by side in the exit, and Jay's got him. Jay's got the undercut on Matthew, and he's going to be the net leader of this race. So the undercut for Jay Drawbridge has worked out, and now he is the effective leader.
Yep, that is true, of course. And Matthew then is in 7th now, or currently 7th, will be next 2nd. And he's actually, both drivers actually gained a little bit of time on Aaron. Aaron's lost a bit of time to Matthew now, 1.9 seconds, and Diego's not that far off. So even with the undercut from those three, they lost a bit of time. As Casper now is starting to challenge Pedro. Slowly causing as Felix is now caught up with these lot as well.
It'll be interesting how the fight between Jay and Matthew will turn out. Of course, if they start fighting, Aaron could well close back up on them. And actually, Diego was ahead of Aaron before, so Aaron's actually made the undercut work on Diego as well.
It's true, of course. Pedro finally pits then from his soft run, so he's going to lose a little bit of time to these guys, possibly. Casper now moves up to third, Felix now up to fourth, but the net leader is in sixth now. Where will Jay be? Where's Pedro? Is he... Right, Pedro's now just taking his stop now, so Jay's okay. Not going to get held up by anyone. As Jay sets a new fastest lap, 33.2, and is currently in the lead. Matthew right now has got nothing to answer on the mediums. However, neither of these two have got a lot of ERS left. Same with Aaron actually as well. And same with Diego. What about Ollie though? Has Ollie been Ollie's been a little bit more sensible. Has got a little bit more. He's got around about half ERS right now. So don't count out Ollie possibly for a podium today. And I just mentioned that, and he gets a penalty.
Seems to be a, yeah, Ollie seems to be a bit of an underdog. Usually not getting penalties. Of course, he's got a 3-second, but I mean, in Monaco, he put himself into contention and ended up with a P2. In Australia as well, if he didn't have that incident, he could have been was the podium. So he's always someone you should always consider, because he seems to be very consistently putting himself in the position he needs to be to grab that podium.
Yep, that is true, of course. And just some interesting information. Pedro has gone on the hards. Why is Pedro gone on the hards?
Maybe either he thinks at the end he wants to be faster, so he'll put on the hards, or maybe it's the game that he didn't pick hards, but the game picked hards for him.
Yeah, that could also be. So here comes Jay then. Jay is now a little bit under threat by Matthew, a little bit. Aaron has lost a little bit more time now to Matthew now. Now gap now 2.3 seconds as Matthew Collins gets a 3-second time penalty as he's currently leading this race. And he's trying to pull. Let's see what the gap between him and the leader is. Gap to the leader with him is 1.5 seconds. And the people who he was battling with, I believe, was Lewis Curtis, and that's almost 20 seconds. So... and he's going to have to be smart.
I apologise.
We can hear you though. As Jay then has lost a little bit more time to Matthew Alder now, 5/10. As people are getting a few penalties now. Felix got another 3 second added to his time.
I've just been watching Matthew for the last half lap. It looks like he certainly has the pace over Jay, but of course, as is the kind of nature of this track, it seems it's easy to follow but hard to close up, and it seems like Matthew is kind of in that trap right now, although he certainly does have a little bit more pace to give, and if he got past, maybe he could start pulling away.
Oh yeah, that is true, of course. We're all on lap 9, there's a lot of laps left, so Matthew doesn't have to be worried right now. He can just basically stay behind him, save his ERS all the way to the end, near the end of this race, and then make an overtake, like which you kind of did last season F2 when it was intermediates. You know, you passed me on the last corner, final lap on the last corner. Yeah. So we could possibly see that again between Jay and Matthew. However, though, Jay has the upper hand currently, as he is the car ahead, and the gap's roughly stabilised to 5/10 right now. But if he closes a little bit more from Matthew could possibly be at striking distance.
Yeah, and of course he's also closing up on Felix right now, so once he closes up to Felix, he might be able to put some cars between himself and Matthew, which he would love to happen, but he has to keep Matthew behind me until he does catch up, and the 4.4 second gap is of course coming down quite quickly, but he's going to have to maybe start pushing a bit more to make sure that he can not get past before he just car ahead, which is at the moment Felix, who's actually not too far off Casper. They could be in a fight soon.
Yeah, that is true, of course. Felix is not that far off Casper right now, and Casper is looking a bit faster, but he's again had a little bit bad luck, especially with quali. He's currently third, and he's going to lose a little bit of time to the people who've made their pit stops, of course, and they are getting slowly caught up. So maybe the medium to soft strategy, maybe quicker at the end, but it may not work to what they had planned. Matthew, yet again, is closing, but not enough. He's now just lost a little bit of time there as well, a couple of tenths there. Maybe, is he saving ERS? No, he's not. Yes, he is. Why did he say he wasn't? That's what Matthew's doing. Matthew's almost got 100.
I just noticed as well, if you look behind those two, Aaron's only 2 seconds back now, so it looks like he's closing, and he's pulling along Diego with him, so we could see a four-way fight again for the lead.
That is true, of course, but Matthew isn't really pushing. Matthew's taking our advice, and it's just basically, now he's attacking on the straight, but he was basically just leaving it in 0, and the gap's still 6 tenths. And Jay is in a bit of trouble right now, could possibly have a lunge, and no, he stays behind. Possibly the next straight, he could get a good exit and possibly challenge Jay right now, as the gap's only 4 tenths at the moment.
Oh, I just found a fight between Lewis Curtis and Tiesjenman. Lewis on the outside, Tiesjenman on the inside. It's going to be flat out for both of them. Lewis is going to try and hang it around the outside, and he's not going to be able to do it, but could he maybe get a switch back line and go down the inside for this corner? He's going to have a look, he's going to put his car there, but can't do it, and Tiesjenman stays ahead.
Yeah, Lewis is currently losing on that battle. Has Matthew lost? Matthew maybe now must be starting to attack. He's only within 4 tenths this time to Jay, so we could see a possible fight now. And let's see what Matthew's doing. He's still not in attack yet. He hasn't upped his ERS. He's basically at max ERS usage. He could use a little bit just to get ahead of him. Maybe this is what he might have planned right now, as he's starting to gain a lot more as Boss gets a penalty. And Aaron lost a little bit of time now to Matthew, so Matthew must have picked up the pace, and so has Jay, just a tiny little bit. Matthew's at 100% ERS. This is where Matthew is going to try and make his move, possibly. Could we see it into the chicane? Will he have a good lunge? He's getting closer and closer, but no, not at this time. Has to stay behind.
You can see the exit that he got. He's still closing. He's going to be closing all the way to the right-hander. Jay defends to the inside. He's maybe going to try and get a switchback line. No, Matthew is going to have to stay behind for a little bit longer. And now they can start seeing those cars that I talked about earlier ahead of them. So Jay will be benefiting off a little bit of DRS from them. So he'll be happy with that. And maybe he'll be able to put some cars between us. Actually, they will be pitting around now, as Matthew Collins comes into the pits, and the other three who started the race in medium stay out, and Jay is able to activate DRS, so he will be able to breathe a bit more for now. Or did he? I'm not even sure. Matthew had a look on the outside.
At the moment Matthew looks a lot quicker, and this is where Jay needs to save his ERS in this part of the track. He might lose the position, but then he's got to focus back near the end of this race. We're on lap 13 right now. Matthew is all over him, as you can just see. He's a lot more traction there, as the physics almost made a mistake out of there, which we caught. But does Jay have DRS? Yes, he does. Jay does have DRS there, Kevin, and it looks like Matthew again is going to have to wait.
And now if Jay can make an overtake here, it's going to be very crucial, because he could end up putting a second between himself and Matthew. He's going to be going for it. He's going to be closing on Felix. Could we see it move into, I'm not sure what turn number it is, but he's going to be trying to go down the inside. They touch a little bit, and
Matthew has to avoid an action. That, I don't understand what happened there. Jay looked alongside Felix, and unfortunately Felix didn't want to give him the room, and Matthew had to do avoid in action. And now Matthew's under threat from Aaron Collingwood. This is basically a Christmas present to Jay. He's no longer in threat.
Yeah, maybe not the best of circumstances, because Jay maybe would have wanted a bit of room, but now the person who's following him is now having to look behind him. He's going to be going around the outside of Felix. It's going to be a very crucial move to make, and Felix stays ahead somehow into turn 1.
What is Felix doing? I've not seen him like this. You know, he's a bit more aggressive than usual today. Jay is the net leader, of course. You don't have to get out of the way, but if he's faster and you want help with the Casper battle, it could be possible to let him through. But this has now helped Matthew again. Matthew's back in DRS range. Jay won't be happy with that, but here comes Felix. And Jay, who's going to get it now? And this is not good for Jay, because he has to get it past the car, which Felix makes a mistake. Jay's being smart, switches, gets a better run this time. They're going to close up, max ERS, bit of lag between these two. Let's say we could have a 4-way fight again. Oh my god! Felix making a late lunge. Oh, and there's contact! No wing damage on Jay's car, but Felix has been very aggressive and very late with his overtakes, and Jay maybe getting a bit annoyed.
Looking at Jay's ERS, he's got not much left. He's going to really have to go for this move. And he goes down the inside. This time, I think he's got it. But
No,
could
Felix
Matthew
is still
follow
there.
him through, though?
Felix is still there. It's very close. Matthew wants to get past Felix. Matthew's literally on his rear end as Yellow's behind. That's Cameron Young, his teammate. Felix gets through. Hassel lets Aaron through as well.
I see what he did do. I don't agree with that at all.
I don't agree with that. Oh, that is dirty racing there from Felix. Just literally holding up Jay. And it's just silly.
And let the other two through. I don't agree with that at all, but...
That's questionable, Felix.
Yeah, now Jay is going to have to make the move on Casper. He should be able to make a pretty standard move down the inside, but could Matthew follow him through, though? He is going to follow him through. Could Aaron maybe get involved in this as well? He's going to go down the inside. He's going to go down the inside of Jay, and they touch. Jay doesn't get damaged, luckily, and he's going to cut the corner and get a 3-second time penalty.
Well, Jay wasn't actually expecting what Matthew did there, and now Aaron's really fancying chances with Matthew. So Aaron could win a second race in a row if he just gets alongside Matthew. Oh, as his yellow's behind, that's a Renault and a racing point. That's Pedro and Nino. Yeah, they've gone off. So we'll go back to board with Aaron Collingwood right now, as Brandon Glover's currently leading. As we did have information that Brandon won't be helping Jay that much in the championship, but could Brandon be a legend and help Jay out in this fight, as it's crucial, especially for them in the constructors right now.
Yeah, he could well stay out that little bit longer. He certainly can. He's certainly entitled to. And I'm sure Jay would be hoping that he does. Diego's not too far off either. Now he's on the back of... Oh, and he's got a full safety car.
Where's he crashed it?
That's on the start-finish straight. I'm not sure what actually
I can't see his car.
Yeah, he obviously pressed...
No, I mean, I can't...
Once you press the button, the car disappears.
Oh, is he left?
No, it's just that like once it like pops up on the screen that you have terminal damage, once you press the button code to go to the next screen, your car disappears.
Well then, do you think Jay may pit for softs? Or do you think that's out of the question? Because it's on lap 16, safety car will be out for 3 laps, so...
I wouldn't say they'd make it that far, to be honest. I mean, like, you can take quali softs like 6 laps, so you'd probably get another 2 laps out of them if you well, I mean, it is I'm not sure. It would be really close with them making it or not, but I wouldn't say that softs would be a good option.
Oh no. Did Jay cross the white line?
think he did. I'm
Oh
not sure.
no! Mercedes are double stacking. Brandon's pit. The Mercedes have let Brandon in. Brand, for some reason, has gone hard. I don't understand what he's doing. Same with Casper. But that has affected Jay
and Jay
so
gets
much.
a new wing.
I think that was with the contact with him and Aaron in the chicane, unfortunately. So Jay's going to lose a lot of time, especially with a 5-second penalty, second time penalty he has. And Voss jumps him as well. Wow, Jay will be furious with his team.
If you think about where Brandon was, though, going on softs, as I explained with Jay, I don't think they'd make it, and he can't go on another set of mediums, so I think hards is the only option for him, really.
Yeah, Jay's got another set of mediums, he's in 10th. I don't know, I think softs could go to the end. Maybe a bit Rex, but, you know, like Lewis Curtis and Voss and Eric have also gone soft tyres, so they think they can go to the end. And I have seen somebody at this track take softs 14 laps, so... And... I don't know, Paco, the hards aren't quicker at the moment now anyway, but they were probably at the start if you started on hards, but... It's interesting. Oh, this has helped Felix a little bit, even though he's on the hard tyre, he's now 7th. And he wasn't in a points position, but now he's 7th in the points. Oh, it was Jamie's joined. Unfortunately, he's made it a bit late. But he has joined as a reserve. While we wait then, let's see who's had the biggest position gainers then, and the biggest position losers. Biggest position gain is actually Brandon in 4th. Unfortunately, didn't help his team at all. Jay is the biggest loser with 8 positions lost from the start of the race.
Thinking about it a bit more, it might be like Brandon and Jay not going on softs. Maybe they didn't have a fresh soft, whereas people like Lewis Curtis and Tijan do have fresh softs, and a fresh soft can make it, but a quality tyre can't.
Maybe. That is true. These are the guys who are in softs like Lewis Curtis, Voss and Eric could go fastest lap and steal, I believe, that off Matthew. No, Jay holds a fast lap right now, 33.2. So they could steal it off Jay, but Jay could still beat that lap, even though he's on mediums. He is quick, very quick, and can be quick at certain points. So Jay may have lost the battle for the win.
Aaron didn't, because his teammate wasn't in front of him, and he could have been where Brandon was on fresh tyres, fresh mediums.
Yeah, but you could then say the same with Matthew and Diego. You know, they could have pitted, but they didn't because those tyres can go to the end, and they want to risk that compared to the guys on soft, where on the tyres are only, as you say, may only have 6 laps if they're quality.
But like say, put Brandon on fresh
Aaron's
mediums,
out.
and then
Aaron is no longer in the race, so that promotes a possible Brandon in 3rd. Aaron Collingwood unfortunately can no longer rejoin the session, which if he does, he will be disqualified, of course, but unfortunately he is out. And Sifko will be in this lap. So Aaron has rejoined. If he retires the car, he won't be disqualified, but he has to retire it in the pits. However, if he races on it and passes people, that's him. He will be DSQ'd. He'll not be scoring anything, but he won't be scoring anything anyway because he ain't in the 90% rule. So it's unfortunate. You have to blame Codemasters for that. Oh, wait for the safe car to come
good
in.
from Matthew as well.
Aaron is back now. Will he pit? Does he pit? Oh, is that him or is that the AI?
No, that's him now.
Okay.
But yeah, we are away now again, and actually,
he's just alright. We're underway, but Aaron spun it. I think he's just getting out of people's way. Yep, he was just getting out of people's way. So thank you, Aaron, for retiring. Luckily, it doesn't cause any safety car or any issue like that. There's actually what's happened to Lewis Curtis?
Lewis also retired.
Oh no! Did Lewis get damaged because what happened? Oh. That's interesting. I've got Matthew in the lead, and these two, Matthew and Diego, have had a fight before. Remember in Japan, these two came together with actually Rafa last season. So we'll see that again.
Was down in, I think, 11th, wasn't it, or 12th?
And he's now in
8th. He's up in 8th.
Right now, though, we could see both Hasses on the podium because look at Casper, even though he's on the hard tyres. Oh, his Pedro's retired as well. So both Renaults are out. And it don't look like a manual time. It looks like he's had contact with someone and lost it in the straight there.
Oh,
Lewis,
virtual safety.
And the VSC has happened. Lewis, if you could let us know, why did you have to retire, my friend? Was there an issue or something?
And Nino retired as well? That's a manual, I saw that.
Yeah, that is a manual, and that's caused another VSC. But was that Pedro who's caused it? What's going on? Are people having internet issues or? Although Matthew is leading, Diego in second on his second race in the Haas, Brandon in third, Casper in fourth. So the winning constructors is possibly going to be Haas, I believe, with Matthew 25 points. Oh, there's an Alpha there, a Voss going on the inside of Felix and just literally closes the door, gives him no space, and that is good to see there from Voss. No damage, no issue or contact, and you can just see straight away Voss is a lot quicker on those soft compound of tyres. Well, don't count out Ollie either, Kevin.
Jay's right up the back of Felix. Felix also made a mistake. He's going to be trying to make a move on him now. He'll have to slipstream in DRS. No, we won't have DRS yet. I don't think. Down the inside goes Jay, late on the brakes, and he's made the move.
Jay gets head then. So Felix is really under pressure now. Matthew Collins is fancying his chances, and as I said, this is why you don't go on the hard tyre. You know, the hard tyre would not work, and that's why I would have risked it on the softs. The hards have got no pace, and there's contact between Matthew Collins and Felix there. I didn't catch that because we had a dodgy camera angle, but it just looked like, yet again, Felix didn't give the most amount of space, and they almost rear end. And now look at Eric. Eric's getting involved, and a bit of contact again between Matthew Collins and a Toro Rosso and a Red Bull. So here comes Matthew Collins now. Dives it in the last corner. Matthew sets a new fast lap, 33-1. Oh, and there's a bit more contact between Matthew Collins and Felix. Felix is getting a lot of contacts and battles today as Felix now is getting overtaken by Eric. And Eric may fancy chances on Venom.
Tiedemann just went down the inside of Casper there and makes the move in fifth. Very simple, nice move there.
That is true, of course. Now look at Ollie. Ollie is looking for a podium. He may want another podium after what he had happened in Monaco. Who will it be on the podium step today? Will it be Voss? Will it be Jay? Will it be Brandon? Or will it be Ollie? Because right now Diego and Matthew are in their own little world, currently first and second, with a bit of a gap. As here comes Ollie then round the outside. He's going to go on the outside into the chicane, which will lead to the inside. He's got the better run. Brandon has to give him space. And look at Ollie. Ollie gets it through quite easily on the grippier tyres. And Brandon now drops to fourth and now is under threat by Voss, who is on soft tyres. And just look how much pace he's got. But look how much pace Jay's got, even after that bit of contact he had earlier. And on those mediums compared to Voss's softs. He goes on the inside, tries it. Will he get it through? He's going to make it work this time. Voss has to follow the racing line. Gives him a little bit of space, better space than what Felix did earlier on. And Jay's going really wide, tries to switch. Will he get it on traction? Is he going to get a run? No, unfortunately he's not. Maybe he might make a run on the final corner. Voss runs a little bit wide. No, they stay behind currently. However, Ollie is now into third, pulling a little bit of gap down to Bran. But Bran's not really helping his teammate. His teammate is unfortunately now losing a bit of time to Voss.
I dare say, could Ollie win this race?
Why? Has Ollie not got penalties?
I think he has one.
I know Matthew's not on, so.
He's catching the top two quite quickly right now. Obviously on much fresher tyres.
It is right, he's on fresh tyres. Imagine if Ollie actually wins. If Ollie wins, it'll be nice to see, of course, especially with that safety car in play. It hasn't really helped Matthew, to be honest. He still needed the pit, of course. 1 lap 22 out of 27, so 15 laps on mediums. The mediums aren't going to be at 100%, so I'm guessing the tyre wear from Matthew and Diego is around about 60% already. 60 or 50 at least. So we don't count them out. That's all he is in striking range then for second place. Now, so Diego's podium position is possibly under a little bit of threat right now. And Matthew's 2 seconds up the road. So if I want... Oh, it's Jay now. Goes and fights for it. Round the side of Voss. This time gets a better lunge. Voss has to give him the space. Gets through though. He's going on the outside. It's again a bit more contact. Jay's still there and Jay gets him on the exit. And Jay now moves up to P5. Now will there be team orders between Jay and Brandon, or will they be fighting out for position? Because Brandon isn't in the championship fight, Jay is. What do you think, Ken? Do you think Brandon's going to let him through, or do you think they're going to fight?
I'd say if... I think actually I heard Brandon talk about this before. I think if Jay got alongside him, Brandon would back off and let him through. Apart from that, he won't. So I think he'd play nice. He'd be a bit nice to him and let him through if it comes to it. But I don't think he'd just pull out.
Well, Jay's going to have to get past him the old hard way. How about Diego now is under threat by Ollie. Ollie's going to take second place on lap 23. And he gets it done. As Brandon now has fancied his chance as well. So actually Brandon might not actually let him at all, since he is possibly on a podium position challenge. We've also heard that from Brandon. Even if he's winning the race and Jay needs that position to win the championship, he's not letting him through. But look at Jay.
Oh, there. He does let him through. The inside there.
I think Jay was saying thank you, even though he was waiting on the track, which he's not allowed to do, but I think that was a thank you there.
Ollie Flavel right now is
he
already
catching? Yep, he's catching.
Put a gap between himself and Diego, and he is catching Matthew. Lap 23 out of 27 coming on to lap 24.
He's got time.
That's 4 laps left.
1.8. He's really catching now. 1.7.
Ollie Flavel sets the fastest lap of the race as well.
That is true, because here comes Jay now. Will he make a move on Diego? Diego has never... I don't think these two have ever had a bad history between each other, like contact or anything like that. But Jay has been with Diego before, I believe, in a battle. This is what Jay hasn't got, though. A lot of ERS. What about Ollie? Ollie's got a lot more ERS than Matthew. 1.4 seconds down the gap is. Ollie could win this race in IRL, and Matthew could lose. Matthew should have pitted and risked for soft, so we can see further behind. Jay is now making a move on Diego. Jay's on the inside, and he's already through. What about Brandon? Will Brandon be following this? No, Brandon follows the DRS to try and get a bit closer. Unfortunately, can't get the job done right now. Don't count out Voss. Voss is still there on Bran. And Bran, remember, is on the hard tyres. These hards have got pace in them, but not much as pace in the mediums.
Now what we have is Ollie and Jay on much fresher tyres than Matthew, chasing him down. But I do know that both of them do have 3 second time penalty each. Ollie got it through warnings, and Jay got it through cutting the chicane on the end of the back straight.
Brand's remembers those there.
I'm not sure if Matthew has any. I haven't seen any, so it is going to be a case of they have to pass and pull away from Matthew to get this win.
That is true, of course, as well, as we're now on lap 25. Only a few more laps in this race, as Felix has pitted then, so Felix may go for the soft tyres. There's only 10 people in. He could go for the fastest lap. Ollie then is only a second off Matthew. This is what Ollie wants. This is what Ollie has dreamed of, beating Matthew Older in IRL to win his first race in IRL as well. Let's wait and see. Or will it be Jay to steal the day from these two if Matthew actually may have a penalty? We still don't know. Of course, we don't believe he has. However, though, we know Matthew and Jay have both got penalties. Jay's got a bit of a bigger penalty, a 5 second. Ollie's only got a 3 second. Have to wait and see.
Jay's got DRS on Ollie Flavel now. And looks like No, Ollie hasn't got DRS on Matthew yet. 1.3 seconds.
Brandon just moves up to 4th. So Mercedes now 3rd and 4th, so neither Haas driver are going to get a podium, as I said earlier. It looks like Mercedes are going to get the most points. Yeah, they're going to get, actually, 12. Yeah, Mercedes are going to get 27 points, I believe. I'm correct. And Williams only going to get 25 from Matthews. So Matthews basically doing most of the points. There's a contact behind between Diego and Voss there. Voss is trying to get past him, but look at Matthew Collins. Look how much of a run he got. And he's already got side by side. These two are ghosting, it looked like, into each other. Voss looked like he lost on traction a little bit. Now Ollie is within a second. Again, lap 26. I don't think he's got enough time now to catch Matthew Alder and pass him. There's one, the penultimate lap of this race. One mistake from Matthew, that's all it's going to take, is one little mistake.
Looks like he is almost in DRS range. He's got within a second now. Is he going to have DRS for this straight though?
Yep.
Not
yeah,
quite.
No, he does.
I just.
Yeah, he only just got it within. He only just got it within time. As right now, Jay is caught up a little bit, so there might be a switcher. Oh, actually, was that me or was that my eyes? Did Jay just cut the corner a little bit?
I saw him over to the right, but I'm not sure if he cut the corner or not.
Yellow's further behind. That's Voss. Voss has lost a bit of his wing, it looks like. He's lost his full front wing. What's that contact between him and Diego? Wow, that's interesting. However, we're about to start the final lap of this race. Ollie is in attack range. He's only 4/10 off Matthew. Could we even see, even if he doesn't win this race, could we see him get ahead on the final lap of Matthew? Or do you think Matthew's got enough time?
You never know. Jay sets the fastest lap here. So there's two people behind Matthew hungry to get by him, and you can see that Ollie just has the pace over Matthew right now. 10 lap fresher mediums, and through these corners he's going to be much quicker. And he's onto the straight, he will be quite close. You see Matthew's just making really small errors, and his tyres aren't helping with that either.
That is true, but look at Ollie didn't get a good run. Jay has. Felix, that's new fastest lap on those softs, 32.2.
Jay has got a good run on Ollie though. Could he go down the inside? Will he hold off? Looks like this is going to be Ollie's last chance. This is going to be Jay's last chance to get themselves higher up the podium. These three are the only three really in contention right now for a podium. Brand might snatch one if people have penalties, but right now these three are the people who we want to be looking at. Can Ollie go down the inside maybe? No, he can't go down the inside there. So he's going to have to look for a move somewhere else. He's going to maybe have to try and get a very good exit off this corner. He hasn't done it. Jay's got a good exit though. Could he go past Ollie maybe right at the end? Ollie doesn't get a great exit. He's going to be able to go down around the outside, Jay.
Oh, is Jay going to get him on speed? It's going to be very close. Matthew takes the win. Ollie takes second, Jay takes third. So side by side. Brand will take fourth. Matthew Collins does take fourth. Brandon drops to fifth. And Diego does take third. Casper takes sixth. Brandon Glover takes seventh. Eric jumps to seventh. Brandon drops to eighth. So how many penalties did Brandon have? As Voss is coming around the final corner with no front wing at all on his car. As Felix may have looking a bit of hope there as he was catching that Alpha, but unfortunately we'll only get 2 points. Voss takes 9, Felix takes 10.
Jay, though, I did see that Jay had a 5-second penalty unserved, so maybe that's an undeserved 5-second penalty.
No, he got a 5-second under pits.
Oh, never mind then.
It was a speed in the pit lane, so that can't be removed, unfortunately. Unless he got rear-ended into it, but I doubt that's what happened. But Matthew then takes the win in France. And Ollie does take second, so that's his second podium this season for Ollie. Possibly could be a championship contender if he tries to change those podiums into wins with Diego's first podium back after last season. I believe it was last season on Japan, I believe was his podium, or Brazil. But there we have it though. Matthew takes the win in France yet again. This man is unstoppable at France. He's like a driving god, as he would say. As we will now read the rest of the finishes then. Matthew Order does take the win. Ollie in second. Diego takes third. Jay goes fourth. Venom was Matthew Collins in fifth. Casper in sixth. Eric in seventh. A good recovery drive from him. Brandon in eighth. Had 9 seconds of penalties. Unfortunately lost a lot of positions. Voss in ninth. Unfortunately had that constant at the end. Unfortunately let him down. Felix then does take 10th and also gets the fastest lap with a 32.2. Ian Romanello, Pedro, Lewis Curtis, Aaron Collingwood, Cameron Young and Lewis Marshall all DNF, but Aaron Collingwood like that at the session and unfortunately retired the car to avoid being disqualified. So there we have it, Kevin. Very interesting race, and you were right to say Matthew could win it again, and he does. It's pretty interesting, that.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see how Aaron could have done though if he didn't presumably lag out, because I mean everyone knows the rule, like he wouldn't just leave for no reason. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Aaron could have got Matthew maybe. He was obviously right behind him. He didn't have penalties up to the point that he retired either.
That is true, of course. Just give me 2 seconds, mate. Alright then, we will get the top 3 then for the interview. I know Jay actually didn't get in the podium, so it was Diego, who I don't believe has a mic. It was Matthew and Ollie, right? Yeah, it was Matthew and Ollie. Okay, I'll invite them now. Oh, even better.
And you said Diego, right?
No, Diego don't have a mic.
Then who finished fourth?
Jay, but he don't have a mic. We'll just do the top 2 for today. Could you let them know that in chat as well, please? That the top 2. Oh, Matthew and Ollie, they've got interviews.
Yep.
Ollie has made it. Is Matthew here? Yes they are, they're both here. Alright then. Well, Ollie, just gotta make sure your voice is on share and everything. It is? Alright, that's good. Well then, Ollie, we'll start with you with second place. Congratulations, getting a podium. I believe that's your second podium this season. Are you pretty happy with that? Do you think you could have had the win if you didn't have that penalty, or was that out of the question?
Well, yeah. I only picked up that one penalty that is just off, like, it wasn't even like a proper extend, it was just like the little things, like the little mistakes, and it all adds up. I'm usually pretty good for my penalties, but the one time I needed to be good at my penalties, I lost the win. But I focused on getting it home because I heard that Blizzard had no penalty, and then Blizzard's tyres started going, and I saw a potential overtake, but Blizzard parked up in the apex at that fast right-hander, so that opportunity went. But it was a really enjoyable race, and that safety car really helped me. The fresh tyres. Had a good battle though with Jay at the end, trying to fend them off. I heard that he had a 5-second penalty on top of his 3 seconds, but it was just good to keep him behind anyway. But I'm just really annoyed I couldn't get Blizzard. Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, you didn't, I believe you qualified 6th or something like that?
5th, I think.
5th in the race then. With you not thinking ahead of possibly getting a podium, did you think with the strategy you could get to McLaren some points in today's races? Well, you did, of course, you got 2nd, but was a podium or win always part of the plan, or?
Just bring home points, just P5 would have been fine for me, just enjoy it, to be honest today. It's one of my preferred tracks to drive. It's just because it's good for battling and the strategies are all mixed up, so it's more exciting. But I was a bit surprised that the likes of Matthew and that didn't hit for fresh and mediums. But he still got the win, but I'd take it. But yeah, I'm just really excited. It's a good race.
Alright then. Kevin, do you want to ask him some questions, Ollie?
Well, did you knowing that Matthew didn't have a penalty and you did that affect how much you wanted to get by him? Did you maybe not push as much, or?
When I saw that he didn't have the penalty, I just thought I need to bring it home. But then I saw Jay, so I got that fastest lap. That's why I was like, I'm going to push him Matthew. Then I heard he didn't have a penalty. Then I saw Jay coming. I was like, I've got to go fast again. I was like, But,
okay.
So,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your podium then, I guess. And
Well, Kevin, do you want to...
next week, which is...
That's what I was going to ask you there. Do you want to ask that question? Next week is Austria.
Austria, yeah.
Pad OP, Aaron Collingwood's going to win. Or Jake Attacks. Not the best track. It's a pad track and everyone's average fairly similar pace. It's just going to be a slipstream terrain. I don't think I'll be anywhere next week, so... expect the likes of Aaron Collingwood and Jake Attacks. Those are my money.
You never know, because I mean, you've consistently put yourself in podium positions in the likes of Australia, where you had an unfortunate incident, and also last week in Monaco and today. So you can certainly put yourself there. So maybe if you get a bit of luck again, maybe you could snatch a third place or something like that.
Yeah, well, I guess that's just down to how the race works. So if it happens, that happens. But I'm just here just to take like P5s, P6s. That's where I see myself finishing, and if I can do that, I see that's a win.
Okay.
Well then, thanks for the interview there, Ollie, and congratulations again on your second place. Kevin, if you want to interview Matthew, as he likes to call himself a god, if you'd like to give him a little interview.
Alright, Matthew. Here. Well, obviously...
hang on. I can't hear him for some reason. My bad. There you go, do it again. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so you took pole and the win, of course. Unfortunately, you didn't get fast laps. You didn't get everything, but it was a pretty clean race to the front. You had the lead for most of the race. How was it for you?
It was quite good. It was mainly about, as soon as Jay undercut me, it was mainly about keeping in his DRS, and I was gonna try and pass him when the pit stop down runners came ahead of us, so I could get in their DRS. But he got DRS earlier than I thought he would, so I actually couldn't get past him. That was my main plan. Then the safety car came out, and then I saw Jay cut the pit entry, which was interesting. And then it was more about breaking DRS and trying to pull away as far as possible from Diego, because I knew there would be people like Ollie and Jay catching up to me after. And then it was trying to keep them out of DRS, and as soon as you got my DRS, I was just trying to keep him behind, blocking up all the overtaking spots.
Okay, it was obviously a really good defensive drive from you today as well. At the start of the race, you did have a little bit of a battle with Jay, and also in the middle, Felix kind of closed the top three up, so you had a little fight there. Also, you also spun, didn't you?
No, it looked like
right.
It looked like Jay was going to spin in front of me, so I weaved to avoid him, and he actually didn't spin. He managed to save it. I didn't expect that. So I basically just wasted my time flying off the track.
Okay. Well, next week is Austria, as Ollie said, pad track. How do you think you could go there?
I think I think I can do quite well. I think I'll be able to fight for especially pole and the win. Personally, I like it a lot. One of my favourite tracks on the calendar. So
Okay, congratulations on your win, and good luck for next week.
Well, well done for today's race there, Matthew. But one little question I have to actually add. Did your team radio Red Bull to say be dirty and held up Jay and almost take him off the track, or was that?
I actually had Felix muted, and I was actually yelling at him. Obviously, he couldn't hear me, but I was yelling at him because him holding us up.
Just to add in, I did mention in a party that don't ruin the race, please. But yeah, I think there was a little bit of floundering going on, but Felix certainly wasn't a victim of it.
Well, obviously with that contact with Felix and Jay, what almost ruined Matthew your race when you had to take avoiding action.
Yes.
Was quite surprising. You avoided it that quickly. You got good reflexes to that. But if none of that happened, do you think it would have been a lot closer fight with you, Ollie and Jay, or?
Probably wouldn't make a difference to the safety car.
Do you mean if? Do you mean if, like, Felix didn't hold us up? Because it would have been further away if he didn't hold us up, realistically, because Jay would have been ahead of Ollie.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made a difference. It's the safety car that is.
Okay. Well then, thank you both for you two for joining for the little interview. We are going to now close the stream down, of course. Kevin, is there anything you'd like to add before I do the close down procedure?
It's just a pretty good race, especially the last few laps, and hopefully we see more of the same next week.
Well, congratulations to you two on the podium and a job well done in today's race. And congratulations, Ken, joining me today as comms for interview. My brain today. Thanks for joining me at commentary today. This has been IRL Season 7, Round 6 at France. We'll be back next week for F1 tier at Austria for Round 7. But if you want to see more France content and more IRL content, join us tomorrow for F2 and F3 with Lance, the run for F2, doing comms with Felix Negoire and Sondre Sohaug doing F3 comms, but you may also see me with Lance for F2s, unless my pace is not there. But we'll see you guys next time, and always hit that like button, it does help us out, and yeah, have a nice day. Goodbye for now.